Welcome to the second episode on Shem Mishmuel on the Hagadah Shel Pesach. Today we're going to explore the Shem Mishmuel's unique interpretation to the verb Maggid. The whole night of Pesach we use the term Hagadah, Hagadah Shel Pesach, and one of the main steps of the Seder is Maggid. What does Maggid mean? Most people will tell you Maggid means to tell, to say. Shem Mishmuel is going to teach us Maggid means something completely different. Maggid means to show. The avodah tonight is not only to tell our children, not only to say to our children, but vehigadeta lebincha, Maggid means to show. It has to be visualized. It has to be real. So open with me the Hagadah Shem Mishmuel on page Membet. On page Membet says the Shem Mishmuel the following on the right column. You can find the link to the Haggadah in the description. So on page Membet, Hine gvod gdushat avi admur zecher tzadik livracha lechayei olam haba higid. So my father, the Avnei Nezer, as we spoke about in the introduction class, he said the following idea: Ki targum shel vayaged hu veyechaveh. In the Targum, the verb Maggid means to show. Hainu shemar elo adavar sheken hu. Velo besipur dvarim be'alma. It's not just saying a story be'alma, it's to show. You have to visualize it, like the Targum says. V'zoi ha-mitzvah shel veigadeta lebincha leharot lo ha'inyan ad kan tochen dvarav. Says Shem Mishmuel in the name of his father, the Avnei Nezer, what is the avodah of veigadeta lebincha? Don't tell your kids, show your kids. You could say from today to tomorrow, you're not fulfilling the mitzvah. The mitzvah of Hagadah Lebincha is to show, to visualize. V'yesh lehosif badavar, says Shem Mishmuel, I would like to add a point on my father's comment. Ki b'Mitzrayim haya dibur begalut uPesach. We all know a famous concept in a lot of the Sfarim of the Chassidut and the Sod that Mitzrayim is galut hadibur. Our ability to speak was restrained, and therefore Pesach is Pesach. The mouth is open, the mouth could talk, V'yigadeta, we talk, we ask, we answer, because we're able to free our dibur. Keinu b'divrei ha'mekubalim, ve'af ki advarim hem sitrei Torah, mikol makom yesh lefaresh gam b'pshitut. Says Shem Mishmuel, even though this is an idea taken from the books of the Sod, but I would like to explain this in a very simple, practical level that he could relate to all of us. Shamedaber velibo bal imo. And guys, listen carefully, because this is so important for the Seder. If you talk, if you say, but your heart is not there with your speech, az adibur nifrad mehalev mishkan etzem hanefesh, that speech of yours, which is not imbued and infused with emotion and passion, that speech becomes disconnected from your heart. And your heart is where your neshama is. Ve'afilu yodea u'mechashev mashu medaber. And even if you'll tell me, no, but I'm thinking, I'm conscious. I'm not just speaking without thinking, I'm actually thinking about what I'm saying. Nevertheless, Allah machshava irak levush hanefesh. We turn to page Mem Gimel. The thought is only a clothing for the nefesh. It's not the nefesh. V'kol ot she'adibur enenu beitpa'alut ve'regesh hanefesh, adayin hu nifrad me'etzem hanefesh. Says the Shem Mishmuel, I know you're thinking about what you're saying. You're conscious. You plan to say a speech in the Seder about the Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim. But if only your machshava is engaged, not your regesh, your machshava is only a cloth for your nefesh. Whereas your regesh alev, your feeling, your emotion, your passion when you say something, that is your nefesh. So therefore, saying something consciously or mentally or intellectually might be related to the nefesh, but it's not the nefesh. If you want your neshama to be invested, it has to be that you said it with passion, with the heart. B'Mitzrayim haya lahem stima v'timtum halev, ke'omram zal nistemu einehem v'libam shel Yisrael mitzarat hashibud. What happened in Mitzrayim? What was the galut? The galut was not that they weren't able to talk. This is a symptom. Deeper what's going on, their nefesh is not able to feel. Their heart was clogged, Timtum Alev. And therefore, Al Ken Ktiv, Velo Shamu El Moshe, Mikotzer Ruach U'me'avoda Kasha, Av Sheshamu Et Dvarav. So when the Pasuk says, Velo Shamu El Moshe, what does that mean? They didn't hear? They had ears. They heard. What does it mean, Velo Shamu? They didn't listen, they didn't get it, because the heart was clogged. So yes, you could do an action externally, talking, hearing, but it has zero impact to you. Because your nefesh, your heart, is not in tune, is not in sync with what you're doing. Like in Yiddish, you can say, zu heren and zu der heren. Heren means to hear. Der her means to get it, And to get it, you have to hear with your heart. I used to have a Rosh Yeshiva in Brooklyn, Rabbi Shaul Friedman, Alav Shalom, and in the shir, very passionate, short, but full of passion, was fire. He would tell us, in shir, her mit kap, listen with your head. Now, usually you listen with your ears, right? But he would tell us, listen with your head. Because yeah, you could listen with your ears, but it's not going to get it. If you want to get the shir, her mit kap, you have to hear with your head. So this is what the Shem Mishmuel is saying. Avalo shamu el dvarav, the people of Mitzrayim didn't get it. Kishmiya el dibur ikabalat advarim balev leitpael v'litragesh mehem. Hearing is not here. Hearing is here. Hearing is in the heart. Hearing is to get it when you listen, when it touches you. And that's what the Jews weren't able to do in Mitzrayim. Velo shamu, they heard here. They didn't hear here. V'zeh nikra shadibur begalut. That's what it means that their speech is in exile. Not that they can't talk. Their mouth works. They're not mute. But their heart is completely disassociated with the whole story. They hear, but it doesn't connect. They talk, but it doesn't connect. וכשיצאו ממצרים, השיגו עניין זה שהדיבור יכול להיות נקשר בעצם הנפש. This is the gift of Yetziat Mitzrayim. In Yetziat Mitzrayim, we got the gift that our speech should be able to be connected to our nefesh. It shouldn't just be min hasafa velachutz. It shouldn't just be going through the motions. We should actually mean what we say. That's a beautiful gift that so many humans struggle with. People live lives that are completely disassociated. They say something and they mean something else. They hear one thing and they feel something else. They're torn, they're split, and they're disassociated and completely not synchronized. That's galut. What's geulah? You're in sync. You could talk with passion. You could hear and it gets to you. That's the geulah of dibur. Let's circle it back to Maggid. This is beautiful. V'hine dvarim hayotzim min halev nichnasim el halev. Wow. You the father, you the mother, you the grandfather that wants to give over a message to the people sitting around the table, and you want them to hear with what? Not with the ears. You want them to hear with the heart. It has to come from your heart. It's the same galut. It's the same galut of the heart, which doesn't allow to hear and doesn't allow to talk. So you want your child to hear it, not with his ears, but with his heart. Well, it has to come from your heart. If you want that v'higadeta bincha should get to his heart, not to his ears, your v'higadeta has to begin in your heart. It can't begin just from the mouth. It has to be from within. It has to be filled with passion and emotion. V'zui ha-mitzvah v'higadeta lebincha mitoch regesh ha-nefesh כדי שייכנסו הדברים אל ליבו ויהיה כמו רואה בעיניו. Now we can understand what v'higadeta lebincha is. V'higadeta lebincha is make it seen, make it visual. How can I make a story visual? What, am I playing a video? Playing a slideshow of the Seder? No. Speak from your heart. Speak with passion. Relate the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim and what does it mean to be a ben chorin with passion. And when it will come from your heart, it will be visual. When it will come from your heart, it will be something that the children will be able to see. You know, sometimes you hear a person talking, and he's talking with so much passion that you can almost visualize what he's saying. He hasn't shown you a video or a picture, but just his passion is already creating an image. That's v'higadeta lebincha. Don't tell your child with your mouth, show him. V'yigadetam milashon v'yechvi, says the Targum. Show him. How are you going to show it to him? If Maggid is not just a verbal exercise, but Maggid is actually coming from the heart, which is what Maggid is all about.